studies have shown that the more a country is educated, the more developed you are. It is a very critical thing, and that shows that education is not an expense, it's an investment. And you must invest in it. And it's one that you need to invest aggressively in Nigeria. The reason why, like you said, the standard will fall, I'm just giving you where a professor is, and that is the highest. So imagine what happens to teachers in primary school and secondary school. There's amount to nothing. I used to be in secondary school where my principal will go and buy a car or high purchase. There's no principal today in a secondary school who will go near where they sell cars. Unless he wants to sell the car. So there's no. So these are things you need to know. You must prioritize what you want. It is a critical thing. When I spoke in Johor recently, people say, oh, look at what I said about, some say I demarketing Nigeria. That is not demarketing of Nigeria and Africa. The reality is there. You can compare it because nations were better just in 1990 have overtaken us. The question is to ask, what did they do? It is not rocket science. What did they do? They invested in education. Nothing else. There's nothing that made, whether it's China, Indonesia, and Vietnam that I used to compare, overtake us. Except that they go and check it. They invested in education, they invested in health, they invested in production. So that's how a country like, say, China, everybody now talks about. Just 1990, our per capita was 556, and their own was 317 per capita. And today, they are 13,000, and we are at 800 and something. How? What did they do? A country like Vietnam was just $99 in 1990 per capita, when we are 556. And today, they are nearly 5,000, and we're 800. You can't do, what did they do? That's the question. And that's why I'm taking time to go to them. I was in Indonesia this year, from 1st of February, visiting Minister of Education, Minister of Health, Minister of Small Village, Minister of this, went to see the Vice President under Widodo, went to see the Widodo, the President. I said, what did you do? It's not a simple, it's a simple thing. What did you do that we were better than you yesterday? And you find out it was investment in education. I should ask what will happen in 2027. We are at a stage where we are forming an alliance, coming together of like minds, and we will decide. Because you know, before, the elite consensus, I'll say the gangsters that held everybody together, have been able to divide us using tribe, religion, everything. So I believe we have voted tribe. It didn't work. We voted religion. Now I think it's time to vote competence. Let's try this one. Because we have been able, so that's why we're coming together. That's why I said our alliance now will be alliance against hunger, insecurity, everything. And we have to document it. Everybody has to see it. It's no longer when we come together and vote Mr. Obi, and he goes in there and changes everything, and everybody is looking at him. No. We will not say 1, 2 is what we are going to do. And if we don't do it from day one, we'll disagree with you from day one. Because what happens most times in elections that somebody says, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and when he goes in, he starts giving an excuse or start telling you what I saw when I entered there. What were you seeing when you were doing the promise? Because we didn't hire you. We don't want to hire people again to give us excuse. You want this job. So we don't want to hire you to remind us of what happened yesterday or the past. We want you to start solving. The job of a leader is to start solving problems and solutions and communicating them. Not excuses, not blames, which is what you're getting today. So 2027 will depend on us coming together as a people and deciding that based on competence, capacity, compassion, character, we want to work with this person. And we'll take it from there. And we urge everybody to help. All of you have a role in it.
Thank you. We have very limited time, and I will take one question over there. Stanley, and I'll take one in the middle. You. Sorry, guys. Okay, wait.
I have huge one that our biggest state, I used to give example every day, a state called Niger State, 76 point something thousand square kilometers of land. They don't produce anything. Fertile land, and it's doing very well. When a tiny country like Netherlands has 10,000 square kilometers, if you minus water, is doing agricultural export of $120 billion in 2022. This big state is 2.5 times the size of Netherlands. We cannot continue that way. We need to fix it. We can go there. You would even see that the country like Ukraine at war gave us grain. The entire Ukraine is about 600,000 square kilometers. That is not all the size of northern Nigeria. We need to invest in agriculture. And we have resources to borrow and put it there. The Bank of Agriculture is there. There's competent people in the north who wants to work. There's a lot of them. So let's go and do the right thing. And once you start doing the right thing, you start killing this. There was a question there.
There was the one on the alliance of Gaza.
Let me tell you, it's actually good that they're all coming together. Because the election in 2027 will be Nigerians versus the government. So when they come together, it's easier to deal with all of them. Because we don't know where they belong. So don't worry, let them come together. It's better they're all together at one place because we don't want them scattered. Let them come together and deal with them at once.
We really must wrap up and take that one here.
Okay, let me just he said about the legacy where the next future will be. Let me tell you, there's quite a lot of young people across the whole Nigeria, from the south to the north, that I worked with today, that I can tell you that I will be able to continue where we stop. I've always said it. I'm not desperate to be Nigerian president. I'm desperate to see Nigeria work. Because we have all it takes to work. I've been all over the world. I've even, because of it, went to schools and everything and all that. Somebody, I just asked me yesterday, he said, why do you go to all these schools? Oxford, Cambridge, Harvard, Columbia. I said, well, listen, I wanted to know whether they have a different brain. I went, I found out that there's nothing different. So why are we acting different? So you talked about electricity. If you look at the world improvement in electricity, in the past 5 to 6 years, from 2015 to about 2021, the countries that had the highest turnaround in electricity are actually within developing countries. India, Vietnam, Egypt. It was shocking. And I've been to them. There's no rocket science. It's something that is 12. India, the country like Egypt, which is in Africa, moved from about 20,000 megawatts to nearly 50 now. They're even exporting power to Europe. It is not rocket science. And some of the companies that did it there, I was in Egypt. They are there, they're very serious. The president, the prime minister, everybody's all involved. They know what they're doing. They take it as serious and everything. The companies that we're doing it there actually have the same type of contract in Nigeria, except that in Egypt, it was properly structured with sovereign guarantees. In our own, let me not say anything further. We will deal with it. And we have people to deal with it. There's nothing in generating power. And you can do it. You need embedded power, you need captive power, you need everything. Here in the UK, an airport like Gatwick just have one supply, embedded power. You have captive. There's so many things you can do. In today's world, in Morocco, they're dealing with issue of solar. So there's so many things you can do today to change the power situation. But you need to deal with the monster called corruption. It is very important. Nobody thinks in a corrupt country. Because everybody is thinking how to steal the next money. Especially when it becomes something you can celebrate. You know, it's a different thing that people are choosing not to celebrate stealing. Than a situation where stealing has become a source of celebration. So if you steal money, you can move around, buy best houses in Europe, in America, all over the world, live, fly private jets, move like a star, and people give you some titles. You come to a place, you're a role model. How can a thief be a role model? So these are things we need to dismantle. If we dismantle it, I can tell you we'll have power.
Thank you. We're almost done, and I'm not going to have a lot of friends after this is over because a lot of people are going to answer questions. You have a question? There's one there, and then there's one for you. And then we'll wrap it up after that. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Yes, master's graduate here.
Well, let me tell you the, okay, thank you. Let me answer, the opposite is the problem. Education is not the problem. It's the quality and the type of education. You have farmers today, even in the UK here, who are also doing far better than those who you mentioned, who are looking for white-collar jobs. I can tell you, who are looking for white-collar jobs. There's so many farmers that are doing very well and everything. You need to even be educated to make the farm to be more productive today. Without the education, you're talking about subsistence farming that wasn't able to feed people. You can do it better today. You have corporations being supported by farmers. Education remains critical. The only reason I gave you 4 countries before, and I can tell you, those 4 countries surpassed Nigeria in terms of the capital, which is the critical measure, in terms of HDI. You can go and look at countries that are called China, Vietnam, Indonesia. In 1990, there's no clear documented measure of Human Development Index, which is the most critical measure today. Nigeria and these 3 countries mentioned were what they call low medium. Today, the 3 of them are high. Nigeria is still low. And if you look at the literacy level, the 3 have passed 90%. We are still hovering around at 50 something. You can look at all the measures. What did they do? Education, health, and investing in critical areas that put their people out of poverty. If you don't, there's no way. There was one.
But
No, the question from.
excuse me.
It was asking What is it that
Colonial powers.
well, you know, I'm one person who don't believe in that. We are not the only continent that was colonized. India was. So is every other Asian country. I can tell you, I always tell people, one of the greatest schools in India is called Bombay Institute of Technology. It's produced the billionaires and all the high-tech people that we celebrate today in India. That school was built by support of colonial masters. Around the same time they built Yaba College of Technology. No, I'm just saying you. One has collapsed. And the other one. People think Nigeria in the 60s, 70s had one of the fastest vaccine facilities. We actually have vaccine production facility, which we use to fight chicken pox and all the small diseases. And it was established years before they had Syrian, that was the highest vaccine facility in the world, was established. So what happened to our own? It was shut down because somewhere in late 80s and early 90s, somebody said, we need to retool. Let's buy new machines. And the government bought new machines. Several years ago, they are still in crates in Yaba. So we need to dismantle corruption, start governance, and it must come from somebody who is, keep saying, competent, who have compassion, who knows what is expected. Today, what you see is that people would rather tell you, oh, we are building a governor's or government house or lodge or this, than invest in education. If you go to America where we're celebrating, a state like Massachusetts where you have Harvard, MIT, and top schools, they don't have a governor's lodge. There's no government house. If you're elected governor, you stay in your house. And look at what they did. They have invested in critical areas. You cannot stop education. Even here. So don't talk about your colonial master. They didn't teach you anything. 10 Downing Street is only 3 rooms. 3 rooms. 3. If you have more children than that, if you have no more children, like Tony Blair had, he had to use number 11 because he had more than 2 children. So he moved to number 11. So it's not a place for you to have a large family. So this is a structure. And if you got just a small building like this that is in the middle of this, a small terrace house, actually.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that. So we're taking in a question.
And everything, you will see the impact. And they have to come with other policies that are measurable and everything. So they didn't just pay attention to education and everything. And yes, you're right that everywhere you go, you see highly sophisticated and educated Nigerians. Like they are here. I can tell you that if you have 900 Nigerians who are in this hall, who are being educated today in UK, by the time they finish, 10% is not going to go to Nigeria. And that goes with what people talk about. When we talk about foreign direct investment, FDI, I'm one person who is not worried about it. If you go and study the turnaround of China, India, Asian countries, they came from their people who were in schools, happened to be in all these schools in the 90s and 80s. All the people Indians. They were educated here. So, don't talk about FDI. Fix the country. Provide security. Provide everything. FDI is like honey and bee. If you put honey here, lock these doors, bees will come in. They'll find their way inside because there's something here to take. So fix the countries. If we secure Nigeria today, the first foreign direct investment we will get are these people here. Because they want to come back and invest. They will make more money. But nobody's going to make money when you're not sure whether your life will be safe. Because you need to enjoy the investment first. So you have to invest it where there's no real return. So fixing it is important. And I believe in my final contribution that all of you have to be involved. Don't think it's going to be done by maybe Colonel Five or it's going to be done by this. No. All of us are involved. All of you, especially the younger ones, they have to be involved. This is time for you to help to stop this, or what is happening today. The abuse, the stealing, the criminality must stop. The society you are allowing us, who are there today, to abuse, to criminalize, will take his revenge on you. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sorry, my brother, if you don't mind, if you find time, I know you're recording. Is it done?